radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Doug Stewart here to tell you about my man Smooth at smoothtickets.com. Smooth's got the tickets for everything that you need in the world of sports, concerts, or theater. I don't care what it is. I don't care where it's at in this great land of ours. My man Smooth at smoothtickets.com, he got them tickets. I'm telling you, boxing, baseball, NBA, NFL, country music concerts, hard rock, hip-hop, theater, Broadway, he's got them all. And if he don't have them, there ain't none. I'm telling you, smoothtickets.com. Once again, that's smoothtickets.com, or give him a call at 404-374-1150. Once again, that's 404-374-1150. You got to tell him, though, that I sent you. You got to tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Once again, smoothtickets.com. That's smoothtickets.com. Yeah!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show podcast. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. It's very fitting, Walter. A bunch of, and Walter is the producer to the show. Very fitting you play this song, man. Very tragic weekend. Tragic week. Rest in peace to Jose Fernandez, Arnold Palmer, Bill Nunn. Rest in peace to Terrence Crutcher. Rest in peace to Keith Scott. Were y'all like me, man, Saturday morning? We're going to get back to this football here in a second. But were y'all like me Saturday morning, just glued to the TV, trying to get all the details I could of the videotape that Keith Scott's wife released? Everybody breaking it down on the internet and on YouTube. The police actually came out with their own videotapes from a body cam and a dashboard cam later that night. You know what this thing looks like to me, man? And listen, I keep saying I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of the things that I talk about to a lot of people do seem like conspiracy theorists' thoughts. But I'm telling you it's not. And I'm very careful whenever I start, talking about these types of situations because, a lot of times things aren't always what they appear. But having said that, does this not look like that the police are painting themselves in a corner? And the reason I say it looks like they're painting themselves in a corner because they've already come out and this guy, Brentley Vincent, this black cop, took the rap for this murder of Keith Scott. And if you saw that video, I don't care whether it's the police's video or the wife's video, when Keith Scott got out of his car, backing away from the officers that were behind the truck, there were two white officers, one with a red shirt and the other one, I believe he had on a white shirt, and they both had on bulletproof vests. One of those cops shot him. But days prior to the release of the video, they were saying it was this Terrence or this Brantley Vincent guy. So I don't know, man. A lot of this doesn't make sense. The pure fact that they would even kill this man, Keith Scott, in a state where you are allowed to open carry a weapon, and their excuse is because he had a gun or because he rolled up a marijuana joint in his car or whatever, it doesn't make sense either. Like, none of this thing connects. Absolutely none of it. Well, he had a gun. Well, in the state of North Carolina, you can have a gun on your person, in plain view. So that's not a reason to stop him and confront him and to draw your weapons on him and then finally kill him. So I tell you what, man, I want to see how they explain this. And obviously there's probably going to be a court case. Charges have to be brought up, right? That hadn't happened yet, which actually happened a couple of days earlier for the Terrence Crutcher incident down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. So this is what they said, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The officers were there serving some type of warrant. Whatever happened to that warrant? They were there serving some type of warrant, and Keith Scott pulls up beside them, and Keith Scott whirls up a marijuana joint, and they observe Keith Scott with a gun. So wait a minute. Let's stop right there. And I'm not an attorney, okay? So let me get this straight. You were parked about to serve this warrant, talking about the police. Keith Scott rolls up and parks in the next parking space next to you. You observe him with a gun. So wait a minute. Keith Scott sitting in his car, smoking his marijuana joint or whatever, and then he just raises a gun to show you. He flashes this gun to show you sitting in the next car that he has this gun. Huh? That doesn't even add up. That doesn't make sense at all. If you did have a gun, if you are in your car, you pull up in the parking lot, you wouldn't pick the gun up in plain sight for everybody to see and show it to the officers, or he didn't know they were officers, to the people in the car next to you. Like, none of this adds up at all. None of it adds up at all. And when you see the video, man, that his wife took, when you see the video, man, and him getting out of the car and backing away from the officers who I believe shot him, the ones that he was facing, he's backing away. How is the police going to claim or say that he was a threat to them? But they're definitely going to say that. But how can you realistically think that that's going to jive? He was a threat to us. He was a threat to you backing up? And here's another thing. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Here's another thing. The video is very unclear. The videos that they released were very unclear. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The videos that they released were very unclear. So their whole contention is that he got out of the car with this gun, okay, and they shot him. Now, from the video, and a lot of people tried to break this down, you would think that if he got out of the car with the gun, okay, and they shot him, that the gun would fall to the ground, it would bounce somewhere or whatever, and, and you would be able to see it on the video. Clearly, there was no gun once he first hit the ground. Then several frames later, a couple of seconds later, a gun magically appeared on the ground. Now, a lot of people are saying that they actually threw the gun on the ground. They call it a gun drop. That's the street term that I've heard all weekend long. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So they're saying that the gun dropped on the ground magically, or you saw the gun magically drop on the ground a couple of seconds later after the fact when he got shot. But that doesn't make sense either, okay? Because there was no gun on the ground. They had to have pulled a gun, if there was a gun, which I'm not 100% sure there was a gun. As a matter of fact, I'm less than 100% sure. I'm less than 50% sure there was any gun at all. But it appears that if they want to go with the story he had a gun, that they had to have taken a gun off of him, out of his waist or his pocket or whatever. So if that was the case, he had a gun, a concealed weapon, because you didn't see a gun in his hand when he got out of the car, then that's a lie as well. You know, there was a gun that showed up on the ground, and then they obviously went and got something off him, and they're going to have to say at some point that the gun came out of his pocket or his waistband. So the whole damn thing just stinks. I mean, the whole thing just stinks. And I mean, and it's incredible. You see how God works, man? You see how God works? It's incredible. And to the misfortune of these people, it's incredible that with Colin Kaepernick, bringing it back home to sports a little bit, it's incredible that Colin Kaepernick started this protest, because of the unjust ways the police treat black people in this country. And everybody's mad at Colin Kaepernick. He doesn't stand for the flag. But the man's protest has a specific issue, and it's police brutality. And it's killing black people in the street like dogs. And how God works, and to the unfortunate, degree to these people losing their lives. But you have two prime examples where you have video that shows both of these people killed, Terrence Crutcher and Keith Scott, were cooperating with the police, were not threatening the police at all. And they die. And it's caught on videotape. Okay, now you can cast all these aspersions of what you want about, he should have listened to his commands. That's not a reason to kill somebody, that they didn't 100% listen to your commands as an officer. And so it's very, very interesting that two perfect examples of what Colin Kaepernick and a lot of us are talking about come to the forefront, man. And we have actual evidence to the same. And so, I mean, just it's very tough to watch that video this past Saturday, man. I don't know about you, but me and my mother were, up eating a little breakfast, and we were sitting on the couch, and you had kind of like breaking developments every 15 or 20 minutes. And then the wife, her video was released, and they showed it on CNN. And then later on that evening, the police released a video because they had to, because of public pressure. They didn't want to release it. And there were probably other videos that they could have released from other dash cams, but they didn't. They specifically released these two videos because these two videos still make everything unclear. It's kind of like one of those banana in their tailpipes, one of those smoke bomb type things. Nobody else had their cameras on. There was like 5 or 6 people out there. There's several witnesses. That's another big part of this thing. I'm sure you saw this as well. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I promise you, we're going to get back to sports, but I got to talk about this. You wake up Saturday morning, and you have 2 witnesses. Not no crackheads, seem like very reasonable, people, 2 women that gave, commentary that the black cop didn't kill him. He showed up later. And to the fact that one of the white cops killed him. And I don't know, man. It didn't seem like, based on what they said, that they aren't to be believed, that they're making this up. But you remember this as well. You remember the Mike Brown story. Same thing happened. There were people that came out and said, yeah, Mike Brown had his hands up, and then all of a sudden those people just disappeared. Those witnesses just disappeared. I hope that's not the case for this story, man. And it seems like that a lot of times they'll drag this thing out where we're not focused on it anymore. And